Find product links below and hundreds more videos on my channel.
Hi everyone, welcome back. So today I'm going to be reviewing the Yongnuo YN-600 in this big series of lighting comparisons. And this light is the daylight color temperature one. It's not one that has the color changing option. First of all, we've got a unit that weighs a little over a kilogram, which is great. Very nice and lightweight, very nice to work with. And it does give you a nice, fairly soft light. These barn doors help diffuse the light a little bit, so the light that goes, hits that, bounces back, and then gives you a slightly softer light. However, they are not usable as traditional barn doors, as with most LEDs. The surface is far too large, and these are far too shiny to actually block any light. If you do this and try and close off the light, you're just bouncing light up from there and bouncing light from there, and you're not really doing anything. I'll show you guys that there. And another thing this can be used for is a makeshift softbox to soften up your light. So you just use these as the sort of base to put something around to diffuse the light a little bit more. So you wouldn't be using, you probably want to remove this, and then you would simply add, maybe a little piece of cloth or something, or whatever you like, piece of paper, and use that to create just a nice softbox. We've got a light that does go very nice and bright, and we'll check that out in a second. But basically what we have here, we have a few buttons. One of them controls whether you want the fine mode, which means adjustability of, as you can see, I'm going all the way up to 90, and that took a while, all the way up to 99, or non-fine mode, where you just go up by 10 steps at a time, 10 steps of power output. And at 1, I'm not sure if that really is 1%, I don't think it is, but yeah, it does go very nice and dim. And you just click that to switch it off, so it is very, very nice and easy to operate. And then the next buttons up are buttons that allow you to check the battery level. It looks like P just stands for power or something, and then you have a reading of 1 to 9, so 9, as far as I know, would be the highest that you get from this, and then the more these are being used, the lower the power is going to show when you click that button. And I love that it gives individual power readings for this. However, we don't have an actual charger built into this, as far as I know, so if you were to plug something into here, it wouldn't be charging your batteries, unlike the Aputure ones. Then we also have a remote that comes with it, which is awesome. I love that they gave a remote with this. I think it's something that can be really, really important and really, really helpful, because this is one of the few times that that a company like making a light like this gives you a remote that allows you to control different lights. And what that basically would do is, if I were to have this on, let's turn the rest of our lights off, and let's turn the Yongnuo on. Check what channel I'm on by pressing both of the battery testers at once. So I'm on H1, which would be channel 1. And then what I can do is turn up brightness, and then we do have on the remote, we have controls for the brightnesses for the different colors, but for this unit that's not gonna work. And of course we have on off on that, which is lovely. So I love that, and I love that I can control different lights without moving from whatever I'm doing. I just have a little remote, and of course if you do buy 3 units like this, then you'd have 3 little remotes, so you'd have spares, which I think is important. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the filter, and we're going to check out the brightness. And a quick note about the remote is that unfortunately these can only be set up as 3 different channels. But if you think about the way you position your lights well, if you're using more than 3 lights, and you group them together, so you'd have, maybe you'd have the 2 on that side, or the 2 backlights, or whatever, you'd have them as group 1, and then you'd have your front lights as group 2, and maybe your fill light as group 3, whatever, that sort of thing. But I would really, really personally much prefer, I mean, for me that would be a really important thing, to be able to have those different groups. However, most of the time you're going to be around your lights, and you might you know, you could generally say maybe the ones that you're close to just control by hand, and then the further away ones control with the remote. So it's not a huge issue that you only have 3 channels. However, it would be really lovely if we had 5 or more. As you can see, they don't really do anything, and they do leave a bunch of lines at full power right here. That was 4,500 lux at 1 meter. Very good. Let's check out what this light looks like. First of all, we've got bouncing off there, so that's pretty much bouncing off a wall, and just giving me just a nice sort of side light. So as you can see right now, we're getting a nice nice top light on me, sort of just bouncing down. Over here, a light that is coming from a big silver umbrella. Now this unit does have a place to plug in external power, and it's going to want 8 volts, so it's not your usual 12 volt connection, but it is the same plug, and it is the common type of plug, which is a big plus because they are far more durable and far easier to get than the Aputure one. Now regarding build quality, the light is very, very well built. From the plastic lights that I've seen, I would probably say this is the best built light. Okay, so a reading of the LEDs at the front there is giving us 37 degrees Celsius, which is not very hot. It's just sort of slightly warmish. When the light itself got to 50 Celsius or thereabouts, right here, then this fan came on. That microphone is picking it up. Of course, it would pick it up a little less if it wasn't actually pointed at it. Got a shotgun microphone over there, the Rode Video Mic Pro. But it's not ideal. If you can't hear that, by the way, put on some headphones or something, you will be able to hear it. The temperature in this area is around 20 Celsius. The light is currently 25 at the back and 32 at the front. So here's the YN-600 with the camera set to ISO 100, and the light is at full power. Camera's white balance set to daylight, 5500 Kelvin. As you can see, we're getting a, if we move the barn doors out the way, see there's not too much spill, and we are getting most of the light down in the center, and a pretty nice smooth roll off of the brightness, and one of the closest to white from the lights that I've seen from the LEDs. I've seen overall a very, very good quality LED. It's really unfortunate, could have been really fantastic light. If it wasn't for this fan, I think this would probably be my light of choice, because it's bright, powerful, easy to use, very adjustable, doesn't flicker as far as I can tell, and just overall really, really lovely and super compact. So I really like this light. For those of you that have audio solutions where this won't be an issue, this would be an absolutely awesome light. So there's a microphone pointing to your left. Again, that's a Rode Video Mic Pro. And there's a microphone pointed backwards. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you found this helpful. Don't forget to subscribe and check out my other videos, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!